welcome to another video. In today's video, this is a wild story about my dad's girlfriend. That was my dad's only girlfriend that I can ever remember besides my mom. So I was gonna guess must have been like 12 or something like that. And I'll never forget it. My dad takes me over to her name was Dena, over to her apartment, and she's cooking us dinner. Chicken fried steak. It was horrible. So, as an adult, it's interesting to realize things. Like, I can remember the first time, I wasn't even an adult. I think I was about 16 years old when I actually kind of registered, like, oh, wow, those people are really dumb. And it was these two guys on a TriMet bus, and they were in the back, and they were talking about cat scratch fever being real. But it was like a couple super rednecks, and they worked in some sort of plant that they were literally covered in soot and dust, and just like, it was, and they were, right out of the, redneck hardcore, IQs probably like 70 if I had to guess. So that was 16. And I might have been younger than 12. I might have been like 10 or something like that. I actually don't know. But in retrospect, I must have just known on some level that this woman was just dumb, right? And so I never probably respected her as a person that should be respected as an intelligent person as a 10-year-old, right? And things stick out that I just needed to start calling my dad sir, like this Southern bullshit, right? And she tried to push that, and some other, like, my dad took us on a vacation to Hawaii when we were, me, my little brother, Dena, and him. Things that stick out on this trip was my dad, for some reason, thought it'd be a good idea to rent scuba gear in Portland and then fly it to freaking Hawaii to use it where they had all the gear. Like, that's how bright my dad was, right? He's not a smart person. IQ average at best, So this woman, we're in Hawaii now, and this is the level of her intellect. It's time to do homework, and she's written out this whole thing where she wants me and my little brother to do homework in Hawaii on spring break. No break now. On vacation in Hawaii, being forced to do homework by this woman. And it was just bizarre. It really was. Like, it was like she was trying to be a teacher or something like that, right? It's like she was maybe she was trying to show my dad that she could raise kids or something. I don't know. But she was a stupid woman. Stupid person. And as an adult, that makes sense. The biggest thing with her, I think what made her leave possibly, but see, how do I know that, because I'm about ready to tell this story, how do I know this just wasn't this woman's way to break up with my dad because she was sick of my dad, right? I don't know. Maybe she truly just didn't like me, I didn't like her, and that was the reason. But there was a day that my dad was gone, working somewhere, and it was my mother's dad's birthday, and I was supposed to be picked up by my mom and taken to go to the birthday party, right? Okay, so I had homework to do, and I was doing my homework. Had all my homework laid out on the kitchen table, and I was there working, right? Here comes Dena. Do your homework in your room. In other words, she wants me to stop doing my homework, pick it all up, take it all upstairs to my tiny little desk, get it all back out, and start over. That's what she wants me to do. And I'm basically like, no, right? I'm doing it here. I'm doing it. It's being done. She didn't even need to tell me to do it in the first place. I just was getting it done so I could go to my grandpa's birthday party. Okay? Well, she turns this into a whole thing, right? Why would you do that to somebody? Somebody's sitting there doing the homework at the kitchen table, and now you're going to be like, do it someplace else? Like, you go someplace else. You're not doing anything. I'm doing homework, okay? So, and if you're a rational, intelligent, caring human being, you would let the child do the homework and possibly even offer help with the homework at the kitchen table. Because learning and homework should be a family thing, and not I'll go up there, So, and it erupted to like her like putting hands on me or something like that, and me just like, yeah, F this, and running outside and getting her to stop chasing me by throwing rocks at her, right? But I never hit her with a rock. Not even close. I might not even have been throwing the rocks at her, okay? Which days later, she's showing me a bruise, me and my little brother, a bruise on her leg, and she's saying she got hit by a rock, and I'm like, I didn't hit you with a rock. And she's, oh yeah, it was a ricochet. And I'm like, a ricochet put a bruise on you? Really? So she was lying about, yeah, I threw rocks at her in her general direction to make her stop chasing me, okay? Well, and that was pretty much like my dad. He left for a summer to go to Alaska to start working in Alaska. And then he came back and just went permanently. And I never heard from him again until I was like 16. And then saw him a couple times. And then he was gone. And then I never heard again until I was like 30 something. Right? And now So that incident might have been, I'm not quite sure, because like I was like maybe 10 or 11, 12, somewhere in there. Might have been the end of their relationship, which I remember one point, I was at my mom's for a weekend or something like that, and I came back and they're like, oh, we got married now. Now she's your stepmom. Like, this is going to change anything? Like, this is going to make her a smart person that I'm going to, and it's just all about being told what to do by people that aren't smart. And they're telling you stupid things to do. And as a child, even, I was that, smart to know that this person, but I don't think I really knew what it was, the specifics of it. Like, I probably as a kid couldn't have told you Dena was an absolute moron. But as an adult, I can tell you that. So, and where it really becomes, and where this month has really come back up into the front of my head, was I got this letter a couple months ago, a month or something, and it was like, we found some money that is unclaimed inheritance, that you're, and it was weird. It was like, because it's my dad's mom that was, and like she had 2 other daughters, and those daughters had kids. Well, Dena glommed on to one of those, my aunts, Lisa, super bad drug addict, cleaned herself up, I think, because like I never saw that part of the family again. Like, once my dad left, my mom took me and my little brother over to his mom's house like once And we were there for like a few hours. And that was the last time I ever saw that side of the family. And I hadn't seen like my cousin or my aunts in years. Like my one aunt, Jensina, her husband and their place burned down. So that was my cousin Jill, okay? So I'm like getting this letter that this grandmother is left money, right? So I'm like, and I contact the people and I look it up, make sure it's not a scam, and I'm checking it out, and that's all this. And they suggest that I go on, because I'm like, I don't know anybody from this side. I don't know if who's dead, I don't know, And they go, well, go on this ancestry.com. Okay, so I go on there, and that was kind of fascinating. And I contacted this cousin, Jill, and she was like rude as fuck. And I'm assuming she's just a fucking idiot as well. But I'm like, why the fuck would you be rude to somebody that you ain't even fucking heard from in 40 fucking years? Oh, she might have heard that I went to prison. I went to prison for fucking weed smuggling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a motherfucking freedom fighter. You're going to look down at me for going to prison for fucking something that's legal right now? Then you're a fucking idiot. I don't give a fuck what you think, basically. So I try to communicate with him like, hey, and all she could say was, this sounds like a scam. And so finally, I was like, fuck this, why am I even wasting my time? I don't give a fuck about this money. I mean, sure, free money's nice, but, I never grew up thinking I was going to get $1 from anybody. Well, that's not true. Actually, on the other side of the family, I was supposed to get a house. I got fucked out of that house by my mom's brother's side of the family. They manipulated the will after my grandmother died, and I was in prison though, so, but again, I was left. So anyway, I really never really expected to get in, and I haven't really got anything. So, and that's fine. I don't want anything from anybody, I got myself. So after all this, I'm like, well, what does this person, why would she be rude to me? And I start thinking, I'm like, oh, Dena went and started being Lisa's bestie after my dad was gone. Okay? And this Dena made up this lie that I hit her with a rock. Yeah, you can tell I was throwing it, but if you're going to tell somebody I was throwing rocks at you, don't forget to tell them why. Because you were trying to physically make me go to my room, stop my homework, go to my fucking room to do my homework. Right? Because you're a fucking dumb psycho person, basically. That's what she was. Like, it was like the only chick my dad ever hooked up with. She wasn't bad to look at, but she was just a Texas moron. I mean, this is where I get my initial dislike for Texas, was this woman, because she was so freaking dumb and so mean that, she's literally going to blame. You're going to mess with a kid and then blame everything on him. Take on, oh, yeah, that's a bad kid. All right, not bad. Really? So, yeah, that's welcome to my life, basically. I could go on and on and on. I have. Look at my autobiography playlist. I don't think I ever told this story. I might have told the story about that with my mom, because that story ended up crazy. Because I'm throwing the rocks at her, and my mom shows up to pick me up. And it's this huge fucking argument, and my mom's like, not wanting to take me to the birthday party now. So I'm jumping on the hood of my mom's car, and she's like driving the car, spinning around backwards to try to get me to be thrown off the car. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was, oh, but I'm a bad kid. I'm only a bad person or a bad kid when I reflect on my life, when people fuck with me. I'm just like a happy-go-lucky person that's just trying to have a good time and all this. But if you fuck with me and I get to a certain point, then Donkey Kong time. Like, I just don't want to be fucked with. Who does? Nobody wants to be fucked with, right? So that, I mean, and if you fuck with me enough, I don't care who you are, I'll right back at you. You know what I'm saying? Just don't fuck with me. That's all I'm saying. I'm probably going to have to do a lot of bleeping now because all my videos are full of the word beep. So, like, subscribe, peace.